corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I've got another book talk video to share with you guys. And today we are talking about They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. Now, I heard about this book a couple weeks ago when I was watching one of the videos on Jordan Reed's channel. I love her channel, and she always talks about a lot of great horror and thriller novels. And I heard about this one and I was like, that sounds good. I'm gonna grab it. And grab it I did, and I read it super fast. Like, it's fast paced. The chapters are short, which I like. They're usually like between 2 and 5 pages long. And it keeps you compulsively wanting to keep on reading. So this was, I'll tell you right off the bat, this was a 5-star read for me. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, and I thought it was really, really good. So we're gonna get into it. We'll talk a little bit about the book in general, and then we'll get into a few spoilers. But before we do, I will be sure to give you adequate warning in case you do not want spoilers. You can click away and not get spoiled. So this book is about a woman named Scarlett, and she's an English professor, I believe, at a university, Gorman University, and along with being a professor, she's also a serial killer. She kills men who are very, very bad. She kills men who assault women, who are just violent in general, and who the justice system has really let slip through the cracks. She targets a lot of students at the school, and in fact, that's where the book kicks off. The very first chapter is her getting revenge against a young man who was involved in an assault at the school, and nothing happened to him or the other boys who were involved. So what she does is she meticulously follows and plots and plans what she's going to do, and for a few months before she carries it out. And for this one in particular, where there was a group of them, she had to pick which one to exact the revenge on, because obviously you can't kill 5 students at once. That would be very suspicious. So the way that she picks who is going to be the victim is they were all at a party that night, and they were all, you know, intoxicated in various different ways. But this one, he was stone cold sober because he's an athlete, and he takes a lot of pride and puts a lot of work into keeping his body at peak physical performance. And she's like, that's the one. And she's hoping by doing this, the others will be a little nervous and maybe stop. So what she does for each of these is she makes it either look like they have taken their own lives, or that they have had an accident, like maybe they've fallen down the stairs. So that's Scarlett, and that's no spoilers, that all happens in the first few pages. Then from the other side of things, we have a young girl named Carly. And so their point of views change from chapter to chapter. We get one chapter from Scarlett, then we get one chapter from Carly. And Carly is a young girl at this university. She's a freshman. She's just met her new roommate, a girl named Allison. Her and Allison really hit it off. Allison has a friend that she grew up with, this guy named Wes, and the three of them just become really, really close. And so for Carly's chapters, we see her getting closer with Allison and Wes. We see the kind of environment that the school is. And then one night, Allison, Carly's friend and roommate, is assaulted at a party. And that really begins to kick off something inside of Carly. She can't handle it because, you know, as Allison goes and tries to report things, first she goes to the hospital and then she reports it to the school. It's not taken seriously at all. At all. And that just infuriates Carly further, and she begins to think to herself, what if I could do something about it myself? So from there, we just go back and forth between these two girls' points of view, and it's a fantastic read. If you like a good revenge story, I'm telling you, you'll like this one. If you've seen the movie Promising Young Woman, it's similar in tone to that, but it gets taken all the way to the end, where in Promising Young Woman, she just scares them. Scarlet does more than scare them, for sure. So yeah, a fast-paced revenge story. There's not really any mystery to it. We know what's going on the whole time, for the most part. And then, yeah, that a satisfying end. So if that sounds like something that would be of interest to you, I would definitely recommend picking it up. But now for the people who want the spoilers, we're going to get into that. So if that's not you, now's the time to click away. I'll miss you, but it's time to go. All right, let's get down to the bare bones of it and get into the spoilers. What happens throughout this book is we get the twist, the big twist, in the middle of the book. And it took me by surprise. It's hard. It is hard for a book to truly shock me. This did. I didn't see it coming, not in the slightest. And the night I was reading it, I stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning because I could not put this book down. And then my mind got blown so hard that I couldn't sleep afterwards. It really, I didn't see it coming. And what we learn, because it's written so well that your mind doesn't go there, but we learn that Scarlet and Carly are the same person. It's different time periods. Not different points of view, different time periods. And Carly was Scarlet when she was a freshman at the university. And so Scarlet's her full name, but we find out that Carly was what her parents always called her, and it was a nickname that just stuck. When that reveal comes, I was not ready for it. And if you've read this book and along with that twist comes the realization that Kinnear, Professor Kinnear in Scarlet's current day, is the same as the Professor Alex when Carly was a freshman. You're like, oof. It took me for a ride, 100%. Aside from that, I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about for the spoilers. And as the book goes on, we see that the first victim that Scarlet/Carly has, the book is going along that it's going to be that kid Bash from the theater group that Allison's a part of. He's the guy who had assaulted Allison at the party. So we keep working up to that's going to be the first guy that Carly kills, but it ends up actually being Wes, the guy from their friend group. There was the 3 of them the whole time, and then what it ends up being is that it's Wes ends up being the first guy because they're up on the roof together, and he had always seemed like such a sweet, nice guy, and Carly was starting to have feelings for him, and then he starts he tries to kiss her on the roof, and she's like, no, I'm not quite ready for that. And he changes. He gets very cruel. He gets very mean. And it's after having dealt with Bash and Allison and seeing nothing happen to him, when Wes turns on her like that, it's too much. And she grabs him by the shoulders, and he thinks she's going to reciprocate. And so she starts kind of walking him backwards, holding him by the shoulders. And then she gets him to the edge of the roof because they're not supposed to be up on this roof because it's very dangerous. But, kids, they always go up on the roof anyway. And so she's just sort of backing him up. And she says at the end, I didn't even have to push him. I just had to let go. And then he falls from the roof. So that was kind of the twist at the end, that it ends up being Wes as the first victim instead of the guy who assaulted Allison, which we thought it was going to be because it kept going in that direction. And then towards the end, it all works out pretty good because you're wondering, like, okay, Scarlet, she's doing what she does because, like, for the well-being of women in general, women on this campus. But as you get to know her more, you're also like, okay, but she's also deeply disturbed to be able to carry these acts out. And it gets to the point where she knows. She's like, I know that I'm a monster, but it's different. It's a different kind than these. And if I can use my monstrosity to help other people, well then it's not so bad, kind of in a Dexter sort of way. And then her and this other woman who she met, who was an ex-wife of Professor Kinnear, they get to leave the city. The heat is taken off of Scarlett. They go to London. They're living together. And this woman, Mina, she knows what Scarlett is and who she is, and she supports it. And the end of the book is Mina helping Scarlett get ready to go out and do what she needs to do, take care of another bad man on the streets. And I just thought it was great. I love a good revenge story. It's fast-paced, quick read. Truly, truly enjoyed it. I see here on the cover of the book it says author of Temper, so I might have to check that one out too, because this one was so good. Also, the cover is so beautiful. Anyway, you guys, that's going to about do it for me for today. If you've read this book, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if not, just let me know how you're doing. How has your weekend been? And I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.